Hey everyone, Rusty Yor here, and this is some more Shadowverse. I ended up logging in and getting a crate that gave me 7 booster packs, so I figured I'd go ahead and just open those things. So let's go to our shop, packs. They are all Bahamats, but before we do that, let's go ahead and just buy a standard pack, just to get that out of the way. I've been getting pretty good cards from the standard pack, so I definitely have no complaints about switching over to that. It's actually been fleshing out my decks a little bit better. And let's see what we got. Nothing higher than a silver. At the end of the turn, draw a card if at least 3 cards have been played this turn. That's actually not too shabby. I'm a bit wary using amulets in a forest deck, since I'm usually focusing on a bunch of cheap cards. But something like this could be potentially useful if you can get it soon enough. Midnight Vampire. That's good for forest bats, which I'm trying to make a deck for that, but I don't have the cards for it yet. Deal 3 damage to all enemy followers. Not a big deal. Execution, just a kill spell. Alright, that's about it. Hey, a Kaleidoscope Glow. I might actually have use for that. Anyway, like I said, they gave me... The pack was like 7 cards. I don't know if it was because of like mistakes by the company or whatever. They usually will give out free packs when things happen like that. That or it could be just a Valentine's thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and open all these. Okay, 1 gold. A foil version of Guilt the Vice Captain. We'll just go ahead and take a look at this first. Alright, so I already have one of these. It's just a Havencraft amulet. It destroys a random follower when it comes into play, and then after its 3 countdown wears off, it will destroy itself and destroy another enemy follower. It's okay, but my luck with it's never been good. Unfortunately, my Havencraft deck hasn't been too fantastic lately. One other thing to point out is Moriana the Bejeweled. Her unique thing is, even though she's just a bronze rarity, her special gimmick is when she comes into play, if you have Vengeance active, it's a Bloodcraft, which means you're at 10 or less HP, you actually get a evolution point back. It's neat in theory, but I haven't really been able to take full advantage of it. Usually what I end up doing is I just summon her and then I immediately evolve her to make her into a 5/5 that I can rush with. Um, Everything else is pretty standard. The Goblin Mage lets you put a 2-point follower into your from the deck into your hand, which is always useful. All right, let's see what else we get. Oh, good, another one of those. All right, so we got a legendary. This one's a legendary I already have. You can have multiple of the same legendary, unlike in Hearthstone. So I could have 2 of these in my deck if I want to. I haven't really bothered putting in any yet.
Whatever it takes to prevail.
So the gimmick is discard your hand and deal X damage to all enemies. X equals to the number of cards discarded. So you can use this in conjunction with a amulet that'll allow you to draw cards every time you discard, and it can be pretty useful. The dangerous part, of course, is if you have a lot of cards in your hand, you do a lot of damage, and even if you had that amulet in play, you would be potentially decking yourself. For those who don't know what decking is, it's whenever you run out of cards, which is one of the other ways you can lose the game. I haven't really seen any significant decking methods. I don't even know if they're even possible yet in this game. I don't think Hearthstone had too many either, to be honest. Usually it's just if it involves decking, it's usually just a high defense deck that you're just outlasting somebody with. Everything else is stuff I've shown before. We of course know about a lurching corpse and all that. So I'm probably gonna. Now the good news about the 7 packs is I'll probably get a lot of dust or vials from just breaking up duplicates that I don't need. Yeah, pretty much standard stuff. Squall Lancers are just Bloodcraft cards. They're okay. Actually, they're not really that great. They're okay if you can get Vengeance active, I guess. And then, of course, Vite, the Vampire Noble, which lets you get Force Bats every time he clashes, and he gets a ward creature. Okay. So, nothing higher than silver. Disaster Witches are pretty decent. They let you get a free 3 damage spell into your hand, which is good for Runecraft. Draconic Fervor is just a way to get healed and get draw cards and get extra play orbs for Dragoncraft. And this guy can spell boost followers in your hand. Oh wow, spell boost is all the followers in your hand 2 times. That's ridiculous. Alright, well, keep going. Nothing of note. Flood Behemoth is a Bloodcraft that every time it clashes, it does 1 damage to all enemy followers. Pretty useful. And then Necro Assassin is a Shadowcraft that would probably go well with my deck if I actually wanted to. The way she works is when she comes into play, you destroy an allied follower, and then a random enemy follower gets destroyed. So if you do something in conjunction with like the various last word cards I use, it would be potentially useful. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, nothing of note. Foil version of Pegasus Elf. When it comes into play, it reduces a follower's defense to 1. And if you evolve her, she does 1 damage to the enemy follower. So she's essentially, she can be a removal if you evolve her, but it's a bit expensive. You generally don't want really high cost cards in your Forestcraft deck. Alright, nothing of note. Necro Assassin, Cyclone Blade. Alright, well we got 1 legendary out of it and 1 gold. That's part of also the reason why I switched back to when I switched to standard packs, because I was getting to the point where I wasn't really getting anything too special. Timeless Witch is kind of unique. It's just a bronze, but when it comes to play, your leader cannot be damaged until this follower leaves the area. So it's a way of forcing your opponent to kill this before it actually starts wailing on you some more. Monica is just a 4/4 for 5 that summons a 1/1 knight, and if you evolve her, she does damage to a enemy equals to the number of ally followers you have in play. So by herself, if you evolve her immediately, she would do 2 damage. And Fortune Hunter Fina, her gimmick is if you evolve her, you'll get a Goblin Mage into your hand that costs 0, which is potentially useful. Alright, pretty standard stuff. Pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of files from this, so let's go ahead and deal with that. Notify extras. Yeah, I just made over 1,000 files from that, so better than nothing. So eventually I'll spend those vials, but for right now I'm not bothering. And as for my missions, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll do a Runecraft game, and that's about it. Maybe if there's time I might do a Havencraft, though Havencraft I'm pretty awful at. Anyway, these are NEs, so I'm just gonna play a regular match. I'm ranked C1 now. I'm trying to keep my rank low so I don't have to deal with as much ridiculous nonsense. Supposedly your rank does kind of influence what you get in unranked, at least from what I've heard. Which could potentially make it harder for you to actually complete your missions and stuff. Now, Runecraft was kind of the first deck I kind of worked with. No, I don't use Daria because I don't have her.
Mother, father, come
I'm
on.
mostly a control type deck, so nothing too special. I'll go ahead and keep this hand. That's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rushed down, but that's fine. So, the way Runecraft works is it's all about spell boost. I have a number of cards in my hand that will get stronger or cheaper based off the number of spells I played beforehand. And it can build up quite a bit. And there's a fly buzzing around me. That's gonna annoy me. So the trick is to have a bunch of spells that summon monsters rather than monsters themselves. And just spells in general that let you draw cards that just count as a spell. So I'll cast this Contra Golem. As you can see, it made all of my my spell boost cards flash, so now my Summon Snow will now summon 2 snowmen instead of just 1, and this Wind Blast now does 2 damage instead of 1. So the trick is just to buff up your hand as much as possible. 2 orbs. Yeah, there you go. Gains ambush until end of turn, so I can't do anything to it. I'm gonna go ahead and do an insight. What this does is I draw a card and that's it. But it counts as a spell, so it boosts everything in my hand. And I can play Sammy the Wizard's Apprentice. This will make both players draw 1 card. And I got another one. So what I've sometimes done with Sammy is I can if my opponent has is close to having a full hand, I make them have a full hand size, and then they end up destroying a card. Because if you draw too many cards, you'll destroy the extras. Anyway, we'll do 2 damage and keep on going. Next turn I could do Conjure 2-Sum, which will summon 2 Clay Golems. And I'll buff up my stuff even further, and you just attack that for some reason. Oh, you're gonna Soul Conversion, gotcha. So destroyed it, got that out for, comes at 2-2 because Necromancy 1. Ah, I see what you're doing, not bad. Alright, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this then. Clear those out. I could summon 3 snowmen, but I think I'm rather just summon my 2 Clay Golems right now. My Wind Blast now does 4 and 3, and I can summon 4 snowmen at once. Granted, there's a limit of how many things you can have out on your side of the board. The limit is 5.
You gonna mess with me?
Tent of the Night. She's thinking about evolving. And she's not. Okay. Alright, so we got a few options here. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do here is actually I'm going to go ahead and deal with him. Because I know he's going to turn into a freaking 4-4.
I'm gonna tell on you, Becker.
Cut that out. And I'm going to go ahead and summon some snow. The 1 extra is going to get destroyed, unfortunately. That's fine.
It's chilly here. It's chilly here.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and destroy that. So everything has 1 HP, which is actually going to probably get myself killed, but that's fine. And now this Wind Blast was going to do 4 damage. Now the bad news is I don't have very many spell boost cards left in my hand, which is a little annoying. I do have Bahamut in my hand, so if I can get to a 10, I can possibly do something with it. But more than likely, since this is a Shadowcraft deck, I'm pretty sure it's got, she's going to have Mordecai, which Bahamut can't really do much against. Cerebist. A legendary that puts a Coco Mimi in her hand. One will buff a monster for like +2 damage, I think, and the other will do 2 damage by itself. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and play that. Alright, Surefire Bullet. That would be nice to work with. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out this way. The reason I'm doing that is so I can play my other Sammy. This will make her have 9 cards in her hand, so when she draws this next turn, she'll actually lose a card. Which will hopefully help me out a little bit.
You like the cold? You like the cold?
And now I actually have some... Yep, so she just lost a card for that. She's going to summon a number of ghosts equal to the amount of necromancy. It's 1 for 1. So she had plenty of shadow points, so she spent 5 to get 5 1/1s out on the field. Now she can go for face and do 5 damage to me, which will be painful. These things will banish themselves at the end of the round, so she's probably going to use it to clear things out. She can pretty much clear everything out but 1 monster. Oh, we're gonna get... okay. Just gonna wipe out everything. This case gains Storm, which means it can attack me directly.
Show's over. No.
Okay. Took 3 damage. Evened up the score there. Go ahead and evolve this just so I can get some damage in. I'm a little concerned about the moment she hits 8 orbs, she's going to summon Mordecai. And I don't think I have a way of actually stopping that right now, because I don't think I've made the adjustments to my deck yet. There are some cards I can play that will turn things into other things, which I definitely need. These lightning shooters are 3/3s, and when they're summoned they do 1 damage, but the damage gets higher when you spell boost them, so... Stuff there. Alright. Take 2 damage. Spartoy Sergeant, not a big deal. Alright, I can Magic Missile, but I don't really want to. I'm just gonna go ahead and summon this and do 2 damage.
Lightning storm. Abracadabra.
Alright. Just need to do enough damage. Are you gonna summon Mordecai? Shadow Reaper.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming for you. It's the pitch for you. Tear to shreds.
Okay, so those are the Coco Mimi cards that she used earlier. Now something to know is, even though these are getting destroyed, they're actually getting banished. So it's not actually doing anything for that Shadow Reaper.
No.
Which is fine by me. Alright, so what I'll do for my turn is I'll go ahead and Insight. Conjure Golem. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else I can do this round. Unfortunately, Wind Blast can only target followers. Alright. Come on, play Mordecai. Nope, Dance of Death again. Okay. Surprisingly enough, Dance of Death is a neutral card, so everyone has it.
No. My boss works us to the bone.
Evolver. Yep.
Want to play?
Okay.
My
Fine
wings
by
are
me.
killing me. Unbelievable.
So when it gets evolved, it does 1 damage to an enemy. Alright, so I got a few options. This will deal 4 damage. I'll go ahead and just Magic Missile you. I'll zap
Lightning
you.
storm. Finally a break.
Go ahead and evolve. Actually, I'll do Trail of Lights. This just allows me to draw a card. It's a neutral card. Alright.
It won't be long now.
She's down to 1 card in her hand.
Too fast to
She'll have
see.
2 when
I'll
she
try you.
hits her turn. She'll have 3 Necromancy. Or 3 Shadow, rather. Rapid Necromancer, so when that dies, I'll do 2 damage to me. She'll probably evolve it. Yep.
I'll show you.
Well, I'll kill both these.
They're joining into one. I'm
In a Slay Predicament. Oh, and you took me down to 2. So, if she gets any sort of nonsense. There won't be much I can do. Disaster Witch allows me to get a Crimson Sorcery into my hand, which I can do 3 damage to anything. So it's something at least. But it's really going to come down to what she draws next. She has like a million ways to kill me right now, because I'm at 2 health. Oh.
Feeling hungry.
That is not one of the ways to kill me. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and return that to her hand. Play Insight. Alright, I have a magic missile, which will do 1 damage to an enemy. I'll go ahead and do it to her. It's one of my few spells that I can actually target her with. Alright.
Another toy to break.
I can almost kill her, but not quite. I'm gonna go ahead and bring out the lightning shooter, just in case. So, it's still gonna come down to what she draws. She has a goblin in her hand, I don't know what her other card is. She gave up. Awesome, we did it. She didn't have Mordecai, so that's good. Alright.
I've prevailed again.
Well, I think that ate up most of my time, so I'm gonna go ahead and call this a video. I am The Depressed Eeyore, and this was Shadowverse. See you guys later.